just like she's mentioned, just like you mentioned as well, that's a whole lot of involvement that you need to have in order to participate and live those street lives.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? To really go back and forth and understand the work, to understand the people, understand the marketing. If you don't know none of these things, you can't take what you know from home over to a new location and expect to thrive 100%.
Exactly.
It just don't work that way.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that we wouldn't survive in Ghana. We have been through a lot.
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
yeah,
lived
yeah.
many lives.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying something that's
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 12 hard truths about living in Ghana.
Let's get it.
Oh, and she's taking us around, okay?
As somebody who has lived in Ghana for the past 4 years now, who moved from the diaspora, although the good outweighs the bad, it has not been a walk in the park. Today, I'm going to share with you all my experiences that I've had that some did shock me, some not necessarily, in hopes that it'll prepare you better when you're ready to move out this way. Starting on a positive lighter note, one of the biggest things you're going to experience out here in Ghana is you're going to have some of the best days of your life. One thing that's really important to notice and recognize is once you get to Ghana, you kind of forget about all your problems. There's this kind of peace that Ghana has and you just cannot find anywhere. Everything is very laid back. Everything is just super chill. Like even if you're not doing anything, you just feel so much better. You feel so much lighter.
That's the video right there.
Aside from the nightlife, aside from the clubs and the bars and the nice restaurants and the beautiful food that they have out here, just the atmosphere overall is like something that you're going to notice a significant difference in, especially if you're coming from some part of the West to Ghana. So that's my first point. That is something that I truly appreciate being here, and I'm sure you will too if you decided to make the move out here. Ghana has some level of peace that's just unmatched. You cannot find it anywhere else.
It can be incredibly difficult to form deep, meaningful relationships in Ghana. You guys need to take this comment with a grain of salt, okay? I don't know what the experience is like for, like, say, teenagers and kids and things like that, because generally speaking, it's easier for them to make friends than it is for us adults. When I came to Ghana, I was already an adult, and I was an entrepreneur as well, so clearly my time is limited. So there's all these factors to consider. So if you've had a different experience, let me know that in the comment section below. Basically, I found it super easy to find people to go out with, people that will support me in different aspects, people that work for different organizations. So basically, if I needed help here, I can just be like, hey, you work for the electricity company and I need help with this, and then they'll support me with it. But then when it comes to somebody that I can actually open up to and share deep stories with, that took a very long time for me to find those kind of relationships. Finally, I found a good handful, but it took a longer time than I anticipated because, you know, how friendly Ghanaians are. So you would think that it's easy to make friends. Generally speaking, a lot of them are a bit closed off. I don't know if it's because of experiences they've had with other people. I don't know what it is, but generally, like, they keep things very shallow, like when you meet women and stuff like that, especially. So it takes a very long time to form deep, meaningful relationships.
Yeah, and she's not alone. I feel like a lot of people do have that same, I guess you can call it like a slash issue when it's come to making friends, because I'm talking about outside of school, outside of people that you know that are connected with other people. I'm talking about you've just gone out there into the world, don't know nobody, and then you're generating friendships where you can have deep, meaningful conversations and not be judged by it. You know what I'm saying? Or someone talk behind your back or whatever the 9 years may look like. So early in adulthood, you may find that issue when you're getting into the real world and you're moving around and you're trying to really, you know, venue out and do things for yourself.
Yes, but moving to a whole new country, that
Even
adds
difficult.
a new layer to it, you know, and we all look at friendships and relationships differently.
Yeah, facts.
And that process of becoming a friend or the level of a type of friend is
Right,
differently as well.
Yeah, facts.
And so that can be a little bit tough if you've come from the diaspora and you have no connections whatsoever. It will take a while for you to build those relationships. So if it happens to you, just know that it's happened to me as well, and probably other people. If it has happened to you, share it in the comment section below.
You cannot live in Ghana like how you did when you were on holiday. As people from the diaspora, generally it's very easy for us to feel like, oh, everything is so cheap. Like, you know, once you change the dollar, you're going to get so much money and you can buy whatever you want. That's okay on holiday, but if you want to live here, cannot spend money like that. Ghana can be very cheap if you want it to be, and it can be very, very expensive, even more expensive than it is overseas sometimes. So the same way you budget when you're overseas, the same way you make a plan for how you're going to spend your money, that's exactly how you have to do it here. Otherwise, you won't last very long. After like a year or so, all your savings will be gone and you'll be out the door. You know, a lot of the time when people move here, it's like, oh, life is easier in Ghana, so I want to live here, which can be true to some extent, but if you do not apply the life skills like the budgeting and, you know, trying to make more money using like entrepreneurship and side hustles and those type of things, you're really going to like go broke, really. And that's what tends to happen to a lot of people, and they end up leaving. So that is like a big thing. You cannot live here like you do when you come here on holiday. When you come here on holiday, you usually have a lot more money to go around. You know, you're only here for 2 weeks and you probably have like $2,000, $3,000 to spend, so you can do whatever you want. But if you want to live here, that $2,000, $3,000 should probably last you a month and not 2 weeks. So that's fine.
Yeah, I like to say this as well. People just like to blame the location. They don't like to take accountability. They were not there with this idea of how things supposed to be and how life's supposed to look for them.
Glamorized it.
And the next thing you know, they get milked. And then they're talking about, well, no, it's not the spot for me at all, but it's just too expensive. No, it's about budgeting. It's about planning, prioritizing, and so forth, you know?
I made a comment one day in our video about when people move to a country in Africa, you should go wanting to add value to it.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and
that.
not go to take.
Oh, yeah.
And someone made this long paragraph like, no, people should not be selfish and people should share. And I'm like, if the people are saying that it's a problem for them that immigrants come and they take the jobs and all that when they're already saying that they don't have enough for themselves, why would you go there and not try to add value? Just like she said, go the entrepreneur route. If you can, if that's in you. Everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur. And you always want to think of longevity when you're thinking of business endeavors, right? But yes, go add value.
Yeah. I like this conversation. I could add so much more to it, but just one little nugget I'm going to say is that I feel like life in general is all about adding value. Wherever you walk into a place, you're going to be either serving or you're going to be helping people become, so for a leader like you, so they can be the next big thing in their location as well. So either way, whichever side you're on, you got a big role to play. You know?
Yeah, and just like she said, also partner with other people in different industries. That's what it's all about.
Unfortunately, you're most likely to be duped or disappointed or lied to or something by someone, especially if you've come from the diaspora. Unfortunately, I've said this several times, when you come from the diaspora and you move here, you're put on a pedestal by so many people. A lot of people see you like, oh, this person is rich, they've come from abroad, you know, so even though people will show you love and care about you and things like that, there are also some sneaky people in there, and you're most likely going to be disappointed or duped, or something like that could happen to you. I'm sharing this because when people come, sometimes when this happens, they're like, oh, I can't live in Ghana. Ghana has terrible people, I want to leave, Believe me, it's happened to a majority of us who have moved from the diaspora to here, but you shouldn't let that stop you from wanting to stay here. It might happen with somebody, but another person that will be really good to you and help you in so many other ways that, you know, other people that you may have met in the past may not have been able to do for you. So just know that this is a normal thing. It happens to so many people, and it's probably going to happen to you, but that doesn't mean that should be the end of your journey in Ghana. Unfortunately, this is more common than you would think. It really does happen a lot in business, in friendships, even in love. Like, a lot of people come here on holiday and they meet
taking it down.
Oh, I met the love of my life, For forgetting that they were only here for 2 weeks, you know. And then once you're here for a longer period, you're like, is this the same person I met on my holiday? So you need to be really careful when it comes to those type of things.
If
you want to live in Ghana and you want to maintain a certain standard of living, you're most likely going to have to be an entrepreneur. Job market in Ghana doesn't pay that well. So for the average Ghanaian, they're used to a certain level of life, you know, especially if you don't live in like an expensive part of Accra or anything like that, you can manage. But if you come from the diaspora, generally you want to live in like a more expensive area, an area that's all done up and things like that. With that, if you do like a regular Ghanaian salary job, you most likely will not have enough income to sustain that kind of lifestyle. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to be an entrepreneur or do your own work, then you're most likely going to have to find something that's like remote work online that pays a little bit more. Or if you get like an expat type job in Ghana, you're probably going to get something that matches whatever salary you were getting overseas, so that way you can manage. But if you plan on getting a regular Ghanaian job, you probably won't survive. The average salary is not too high, and Ghanaians are used to knowing how to utilize that amount of money because they're used to that way of living. But if you're used to a certain standard of living, it might be a little bit hard. And also, a lot of the things that are free and accessible overseas for free, here you probably have to pay for it. So that's why it makes the cost of living so high. A lot of the time when people move out here, sometimes they have all these like really nice ideas for business. So, you know, especially when you're coming from the West, you know, the West has innovated to a certain level. So there's certain ideas that work really well there, and a lot of people are open to those ideas for business. Generally speaking, it might not necessarily work out here in Ghana. So if you're trying to move here and make money from whatever business you're doing right now, starting something that's completely new that Ghanaians are not used to is probably not a good idea. It's not impossible, but I'd say once you're well established, you're already making your income, then you can experiment a little bit with new ideas. But if you're coming now and you want to live here and you want to start a business, then you definitely need to do something that's already being done. Maybe you can add to it and make it a little more innovative, but at the same time, starting a completely new idea is rarely ever a good idea. It takes a long time for people to warm up to new ideas in general, and I feel like in Ghana, it takes even longer for people to warm up to new ideas. So if you want to start something that's being done, like shops, salons, those type of things already being done, you can make yours stand out one way or the other, and it generally works. But coming here with some random app or something completely different that nobody has heard about, it will take a longer time for that to like take off, for you to make money, to be able to survive out here in Ghana. Another hard truth that you come to realize if you move to Ghana is Ghana isn't for everybody. I know there's been this whole trend of like diasporans moving to Ghana, moving home. It's just not for everybody. The diaspora offers certain comforts, you know, that are easy access. But here, you have to pay ridiculous amounts of money to access that same comfort, you know. So not everybody can live here. The way people think is different. The lifestyle is more laid back. Everybody's pretty blasé about everything. It's not for everybody. Some people are better off living wherever they are and coming here on holiday. Not everybody can live here full term. A lot of people say that, and it's true. Because it's for me, I can live here, but I have friends and family members that I know they just will not survive Ghana, and that's okay. So that's something that you need to be aware of. Luck plays maybe 2% role in whether you're able to survive Ghana or not. Yes, there's a lot of planning involved. You need to be really tough. You need to be malleable. You need to change and adapt to different situations in order to survive here. But then, if you want to live here, you need to recognize that your life and somebody's life might be completely different. It might work out for someone, it might not work out for you. Luck does play a little role. As much as I've worked very, very hard to be able to continue to stay here, and I continue to do so, and I continue to change my life around to make sure that I can continue to to live here, I know that there's a certain level of luck. You know, there's a reason why I came to Ghana at the time that I did. There's a reason why I have the knowledge that I have. There's a reason why I came from the family I came from. There's a reason why everything worked out exactly how it's working out. And that is exactly why I say that luck plays a small role in whether you're able to live here or not. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you come here and you're not able to stay here full term and you end up going back, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You can always come back again and try again. Another hard truth about
Let's talk about that. Because oftentimes, y'all know we have covered so much of Africa, and people will tell us, y'all need to move here, y'all need to move here, y'all need to move here.
Mouthful.
And yes, that does sound okay, but y'all are only watching videos of us. Y'all don't know us in our real life. Y'all don't know the things we're used to, the things that we may not be okay with. We are connected ancestrally. We are different and we're used to different things. We love the culture, we love the people, we love the dance styles, we love basically everything that we have seen. We have told y'all things that we would not be okay with. But it's just, I feel like when it comes to social media, people put pressure on people.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm getting to. And they glamorize it. Just let people ease in, okay?
Yeah.
Ease in, because some people would take that to heart. Like, the people say I would make it there. I'm going to sell everything and I'm going to move there. And they take the same lifestyle that they may be used to in the United States or wherever else, and they'll bring that there.
It don't work like that.
Not intermingle with the people, not get to know the people. They just want to live American life in Ghana or in wherever they are, and you won't make it.
Nah, it's difficult that way. And especially when a person believes in the expectations you placed on them. You know what I'm saying? They jump as high as they possibly believe you say that person can. And then, you know, I feel like social media as well, I'm probably say a whole lot of stuff in one sentence, so bear with me, y'all. I feel like social media as well knows how to make a lifestyle look like it's perfect, you know what I'm saying? And people would look at that and be like, oh, this location looks perfect. Like, I could definitely do that. Like, look how much fun they're having. And then when you get out there, just like she's mentioned, just like you mentioned as well, there's a whole lot of involvement that you need to have in order to participate and live those street lives.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? To really go back and forth and understand the work, to understand the people, understand the marketing. If you don't know none of these things, you can't take what you know from home over to a new location and expect to thrive 100%.
Exactly.
It just don't work that way. Yeah.
You gotta let it marinate, okay? You gotta get all your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
you can't just jump shift like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That you cannot underestimate is the roads. Everybody talks about how bad the roads are in Ghana, and there's potholes and there's dirt roads everywhere. But driving at night can be a serious safety issue. A lot of us don't even take it that seriously. That's just Ghanaian, the nature of Ghanaians. But honestly, it causes a lot of accidents unnecessary. A lot of the roads don't have street lights, and you know these potholes can be massive. And when there's no street lights, the thing people do is they drive with their headlights. So then if you're coming from the opposite end, then you're blinded.
I never liked it.
So you're just driving blind. Sensible thing to do when that happens is to drive slow. But then people are in a hurry to go wherever it is they want to go to, because maybe they've been in traffic for so long and they're over it, or they don't want to go slow. They want to get wherever they're going quickly. So imagine driving blind, your headlights on, and then speeding. Recipe for disaster. So there's a lot of accidents on the road unnecessarily, but unfortunately that tends to happen. Another important hard truth that I need to let you guys know is people here don't take anything seriously. It could be anything. It could be from like political issues to maybe like problems in hospitals and things like that. Like, it could be major issues that might be impacting people. And even though they do what they can to change things, I feel like a lot of the time everything is funny, everything is just like kind of whatever. Unfortunately and fortunately, I think it's a great thing, because if you don't take things too seriously, then you're not always stressed or worried about different things. But at the same time, that could be part of why certain things have stayed the way they are for so long. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you want to make changes and you want to do things differently, then you're going to have to be serious. You have to make serious plans and move forward. But generally speaking here, people make jokes about everything, from the president to political issues, to just regular things that happen around you. You know, you might get somewhere and then maybe there's been a fire outbreak or something. Although people might show empathy and say, oh my God, I can't believe this happened, da 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 da. Next minute there's somebody dancing in the corner just right next to where the incident has happened.
Oh wow.
So I don't know, it could be good and bad. The whole, they don't take anything seriously. If you guys agree with this, let me know in the comment section below. If you've had any experiences similar to what I'm trying to articulate, let me know in the comment section below. Another hard truth that I need to share with you guys when you move to Ghana is you're forced to learn a whole new way of life, way of being, and you learn to value relationships a little bit more. Over in the West, generally we're kind of forced into independence, doing everything on our own, all that. Out here, it doesn't work that way. People work with people, people do things with people, people are friends with everybody, everybody is everybody's family. Your neighbors can take care of your kids for you with no issues whatsoever. So when you move from the West to here, if that's not something you're used to, that's something that you're forced to learn. I must say this is more prevalent in the lower socioeconomic areas nowadays than it is in the more affluent areas. More of the affluent areas are becoming just like the West, where everybody just does their own thing and mind their own business. But generally speaking, relationships are more valuable here. When you manage to make good friends, although it takes a long time to be able to establish that, once you're able to do that, you can truly see a significant difference in your life in comparison to what it was when you lived in the West. Most of the time when you live in the West, you live in isolation. Even though you live with family or, you know, dad, mom, or husband, wife, or whatever, it's very different when it's here. Here, and the relationships have nothing to do with husband, wife, or just mother, father. It's usually like your neighbor, your friend's friend, some acquaintance, somebody you met at the passport office. Those are the type of relationships that you end up really valuing, and those are the type of people that generally make quite a significant difference in your life.
Last point is to do with systems. You guys know I've said it several times on here that systems do not work in Ghana. Don't underestimate how much of an impact this can have on you and your life out here. You know, systems have to do with hospitals. It has to do with, let's say, buying a home, buying land, investing in different things. Even smaller corporations, private corporations, most of the systems are just not effective. Let me give you guys an example. I broke my drone recently and I went online to try and find somebody who fixes drones. I found just two companies in the whole of Ghana who fix drones. Wow. The first one I took it to, they were meant to do a diagnosis in 2 days. They didn't get back to me. They were like, we should come back in 2 days to pick it up because it will be done. Went back in 2 days. They're like, oh, we forgot to let you know there was an emergency that came up, so we couldn't fix it. So it will take another couple of days or whatever. Cool. They get back to me again. They're like, oh, the part they need is now being shipped in from wherever, and they don't even know when the part will arrive. So it's going to take even long. So I had to pick up the drone and give it to someone else. That someone else too, I don't even know. It's been more than a week and we don't even know what's going on. So this is what I'm saying. Like, everything just takes forever. If I were overseas, this will be done already. I'll literally just hand it in, forget about it, and I'll be guaranteed that somebody will give me a call and let me know when it's ready so I can pick it up. This is not a free service, by the way. When it comes to hospitals and things like that, there can be some documents that you need to fill and sign and this and that. You go to point A, you have to go to point B, point C. Like, it's so cumbersome. And there isn't too much of an online system as well, so that makes things just drag out. And that's why I always emphasize the importance of forming relationships with people that work in different corporations that can support you with these type of things. Right. But at the same time, you can't know everybody, so you will definitely come across some kind of institution or organization where you have to go through the regular process, and it's such a pain, especially given the infrastructure you have to deal with when you're getting to these places and stuff like that. So that's another hard truth that will most likely impact.
Okay, see, that's one of the things I'm talking about. And it's like, yes, I would love the culture. I would love to be a part of a village. I would love to, you know, be all of these things. But Sierra, how would you feel if this happened? How would you feel if this happened? You know?
Right. And it's different. I mean, you have to get used to that system. So that's another thing.
impact on your life should you decide to move out here to Ghana. And that was 12 hard truths about Ghana. These have been my personal experiences, so I hope I haven't scared you off coming to live here, because the good definitely outweighs the bad. But at the same time, I want to be as realistic as possible as I am through my vlogs, through my chatting with you guys, through everything that I do. I want to be realistic, and I want you guys to know what to expect to some extent.
All right, y'all, definitely, man. Make sure you guys go check our channel out. I think there was some fire gems. Even though it could be controversial, I think she did make some great points when it comes to moving. Yes, it's about being honest.
Yes.
Not trying to tell people what they want to hear, but telling them the hard truth so they can make a real life decision. People lives online when they pack up their bags and go way out there. You know what I'm saying? So again, Ghana's beautiful, beautiful people. I do agree with making relationships. You can't replace a relationship as quick as you can a dollar. Once you get a good person in your life and you mistreat them or they gone, it's hard to find another one like it. So yeah, it's fine.
Yes, I love that she did this video because, like I said, a lot of people like to glamorize things, and I feel like, although we show a lot of what we like, we show the houses, we show this, we show that, we show this, people need a full rounded truth about it, you know? So yes, love Ghana. Do not want to deter anybody from wanting to move to any African country. Y'all already know we love the motherland. All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.